Hello everyone, welcome back to another haul by Transferware China Pottery. So it's been a little bit over a week since I've done a haul. I had been hunting for some treasures and I had decided to only look for glass. So I'm trying to diversify our eBay store and add different items besides transferware, full blue, and porcelain items. So I'm getting into glass, which I'm so excited. I've been trying to educate myself and trying to find some items that I can flip for a profit and share them with you. But my goal, although was only to look for glass, I could not resist. I ended up finding quite a few pieces of transferware, and I'm going to share them with you today. So let's do the glass first, and I apologize. I'm going to be moving around here and there just to drop things around me just so I can reach to the front of the table. So let's first start with this absolutely stunning vase, and this is brilliant American cut glass. It's absolutely stunning, and it's got some wear on the base, which is very common for these pieces. They've been around for so long that they're going to be worn on the bottom. Believe it or not, there's no chips on this item. It's really nice, very heavy. So definitely over 30% lead on that. From that same dealer, I ended up getting this beautiful bowl. It needs a really good washing. It's absolutely stunning. And as you can see, there's still a sticker on there. But look at the pattern on this. All hand cut. It's absolutely beautiful with the florals. It's just a gorgeous piece of American Brilliant. Those two pieces there, one glows more than the other, and I do use the 365 NM, which I was told that it's not great for uranium glass, although it does make uranium glass glow as well. It does show a lot of the manganese in the items. So as you can see, there's a glow to this piece. I am so fascinated with it. It's a beautiful glow, but it's more like a bluish tint, a teal blue than a green. And I'm going to show you an example of a bright green opposite to this teal blue of this piece. I think it's the manganese and also the lead in the item itself that creates that type of and this one is no green. It's pretty much just a blue glow from the lead content. Very heavy. Console bowl. Those console bowls usually used to come with a couple of candle holders. And always a nice cup of coffee. It's wonderful. Moving forward from that, I have this gorgeous Victorian corset vase. It's really large and beautifully etched with a polished bottom, and it's really substantial. Now look at the glow on this piece. See the green on that? It's more like a uranium green. See how fluorescent that is? So you know this is a much older piece for sure. Very heavy as well. Very elegant. It's very elegant. And I'll be listing these items. Probably going to start next week. So it will be a week after I post according to my schedule. Then I ended up finding also this absolutely stunning heart-shaped Murano glass piece. It's beautiful. It's got cased gold flakes and a polished bottom. Isn't that stunning? And I think this piece also glows. Oh yeah, look at that green glow. on that. Beautiful, beautiful piece of Murano glass. I don't do much with Murano glass. I don't know much about it. I know some of these pieces are signed. This one is not signed, but I had to pick it up. It's just such an unusual color. And this would be for cigars. It would be like an ashtray for cigars, but you can use it for bonbons, candy dish, nuts, peanuts, or candy itself. So very, very versatile piece. It's always great to have handy. You never know when someone rings the doorbell and you need to put something out, and it's a wonderful conversation piece as well. Let's continue with the glass. I did get a lot of glass because that's what I was supposed to do. I was not supposed to buy any transferware. So another piece that fascinated me that I'd never seen before is this stunning water jug. Absolutely beautiful. Brass top, very, very well made. Probably from the 1930s, 40s. What's so interesting about this piece, it's the insert. And I did a little research on this. Not enough to let you know who manufactured, but the insert gets unscrewed from the top. Sorry, ooh, a little squeaky. And you can insert your ice in there, and then, very, very clever, and then you just screw it back in again. Uh-oh. Oh, great. Right when I'm filming, right? Ooh. I apologize for that. I just don't want it to get loose and break. And then you insert it back into the pitcher, like that. Twist it around so it doesn't come off when you flip the water out into the glass. Isn't that a beautiful piece? I had never seen a piece like this before, so I had to grab that. Then I ended up getting from another booth this beautiful amber Fostoria glass, the coin dot Fostoria glass, the coin pattern candy dish. It does glow as well. Has like probably not manganese. It probably has some other metal in it. It glows like an orangey color. I don't know if you can see from over there, but it's so elegant, and it's such a beautiful amber color. Very, very heavy. So back in the day, they used high quality glass for these pieces, which today they don't anymore unless you're paying a fortune for them. And moving right along, I picked up this wonderful Westmoreland iridescent milk glass candy ball. There's a little flake here, but it's smooth, so I would like to think that this is a manufacturer flaw. It's not sharp, and it's hand painted. All the fruits are hand painted, and it does have the original sticker right there and the Westmoreland mark on the cover and on the base of the bowl. Nice candy dish. Isn't that lovely? I love the iridescence on it. So we got that. Put this aside. That way I can reach around. Oh yeah, this next set is really nice. Oh, I was looking forward to this cup of coffee. Okay, so moving forward, this beautiful piece, Victorian cranberry glass. Well, it's cranberry color, but it's not cranberry glass. And I tell you what, this is flashed. So this glass was done in clear, and then they would coat it with a thin layer of another glass. Okay, because red glass and cranberry glass is very expensive to make. They have to use gold in it. And of course, this was a less expensive way of producing these pieces. but this is Victorian era, and he has these beautiful enamel raised florals on it, and he also has this very strong glow. Look how much glow is in this. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, very, very nice. So sugar and open sugar and creamer. And also it came with a bonbon dish, covered dish. It's absolutely stunning. There was also gold on the top, but it ended up getting worn out from people just washing these items over and over and over. Now let's talk a little bit about washing these items. Like I repeated before in some other videos that I uploaded, I wash these items with Meyer's soap. Very, very mild, lukewarm water. I soak it for a little bit just to get everything loosened up, and I hand washed. If it's an item that you're collecting and an item that you're displaying, even the items in your kitchen, unfortunately, dishwashing machines are big no-nos because of the high temperatures and the harsh chemicals that are put into those machines with the high temperatures completely destroy glass. They not only destroy the glass, they destroy the porcelain, they destroy your silverware. So if it's something that you treasure, that's not an everyday use, that you're not so worried about, then I would hand wash it. And then moving right after that piece, look at this beautiful picture. Early American pattern glass. It's absolutely stunning. And it also has the same flashing on the florals. Beautiful picture. Very, very heavy. There's a lot of wear on the bottom, which is very typical with these items. And this has also a beautiful glow. Oh, I'm so excited because now I go to the antique malls and the thrift stores, and I am just glowing everything around me. Perfect. So this is also a very nice piece. Now this piece comes with 4 of these tumblers. Aren't they just perfect? How nice is that for lemonade? Most of the times it was lemonade, but you can do water, you can do juice, you can do punch, whatever you'd like to do. Isn't that just beautiful? What a nice conversation piece. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to do all the glass because it's fall. I fell in love with this absolutely gorgeous hand-blown pumpkin. We have quite a few of these already listed on our eBay store that I was able to acquire. I just love the pattern on this. It's definitely a studio piece. I don't see a signature on it, unfortunately. So I don't know who's it by. I would have to do some research before I list it, but I just absolutely love it. Isn't that nice, the iridescence on that? A lot of work put into these hand-blown pieces. And when you buy it first out of craft fairs, they're very, very expensive. So online, you tend to get better deals on eBay and Etsy and all these other stores. And by the way, these items are going to be available at Transferware China Pottery on eBay. Okay. Following, I ended up picking up 2 of these beautiful Indiana candy bowls. They're great for jewelry. It's a really well-made candy dish. They used a lot of glass. It's very, very heavy. Look how thick that is. Isn't that nice? So I ended up getting 2. Now these go for about $12 on eBay, but that's okay. That's okay. We have to have price ranges for everybody. Okay? So ended up getting that, 2 of those. And in terms of glass, we're almost done. Oh yeah. So got this beautiful etched crystal European bowl. Cut glass. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? It's very, very heavy. Now this is not American. This is done. Let me see. There's a sticker. A Blake Crystal hand cliff. So probably that means hand cut piece. And there's no chips, cracks, or repairs. I just thought this was absolutely beautiful. Fell in love with it. Had to grab it. Got that from the same dealer of the vase, of the first vase that I presented to you. And in the terms of glass, ended up picking up 6 of these beautiful circleware with a gold rim. Italian glasses. Yeah, it needs a really good cleaning. And I don't do researching on these items until I'm posting them on eBay. Our channel is just to entertain. It's really not a reference channel. But if I do know about a piece, I will let you know from my personal experience. I'm not an appraiser. And when I give prices to people for what it sells for me is from personal experience. I don't do research on what it sells for other folks. So I try to get a little bit of money out of each piece that I buy. So if I paid $25, I would like to at least get 15 more for it so I can make a little bit of money and pay eBay fees, etc., etc. So that's how I do things. I also ended up finding this absolutely stunning wheat pattern etched. I believe this is glass, American for sure, and this is from probably the 1930s. 1930s. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? The wheat pattern on this was very common then, and very, very well executed, these etchings. Let's see if it glows. I haven't tried this one yet. Oh, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Look how stunning that is. Not a very strong glow because it's probably the manganese in it. That's what's showing somewhat of a glow. And for glass, that is all. And that's what I was only supposed to do, but I couldn't help myself. I had to get some Transferware. So let me share that with you. So let's start with the porcelain, and then we're going to go on to the Transferware. How's that? Sound good? Perfect. All right. So the first piece of porcelain is this beautiful iris flower by Lenox. I just had to get it. There's no chips, cracks, or repairs on this lovely floral here. These tend to do very well for me. Very, very well. And then also Limoges. I love Limoges. And I had to buy this item. I paid up for it. It actually paid up quite a bit for it. But this is a covered creamer with the original saucer. And you don't see this piece that much. Usually the lids are gone or they're just not found anywhere at all. And it's a beautiful laced floral pattern, wreath pattern. And it's Haviland Limoges. There's no chips, cracks, or repairs on it. And I fell in love with it because the 3 pieces were together. So I just had to grab that and list it for you. Okay, so in terms of porcelain, we're going to go move to this beautiful chocolate pot. And this is a Bavarian chocolate pot. It's like a cameo pattern, a portrait pattern. Isn't that stunning? And I believe that a lot of this here, it's showing hand painted with some transfer. So it's both styles together, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I just love the colors. They're so beautiful, and her long hair is absolutely gorgeous. So this is German piece. Then for porcelain, I also have this 18th century chocolate pot. I think it's French. I have to do some research. It's all hand painted. The florals are all hand painted. What a stunning piece. There's a little chip on the lid. It's on the inside. Like I said, these chips don't really bother me. Look how stunning that marking is, hand painted leaf. It's beautiful. I have not done any research on it. I do my research when I list the items. I try to provide as much information as possible. Then if I don't know, I either put a question mark or I just describe the piece itself and see where it goes according to what I paid for it, you know? Transferware China Pottery, don't forget. So in terms of porcelain, that was it. Then we're going to go on to the Transferware, which is soft paste or semi-porcelain. But before I go there, I would like to show you 2 pieces of pottery and these beautiful cast metal frames. They're absolutely stunning. Now, this is not the original patina on here. I think that someone refinished them. They were redone over, but the gold is very well executed. It's really, really nice. There's a holder part here missing, but I'm okay with that because these 2 are enough for it. Now, these are very sought after. They're absolutely beautiful, especially if you have like a Victorian home. And you're really, you know what? It's quite interesting because I went to a client's house the other day to pick up a few things she had sold me. And she had such a modern contemporary home. And I tell you what, it was gilded with gold everywhere. So although she had such modern pieces of furniture, she had beautiful antiques on it. And I tell you what, it was so tastefully done that it just brought so many decades together. I was in actuality surprised how she had it all well put together. So we got 2 of those, which is always great to have 2 instead of 1. 2 is always better than 1 in most cases, of course. Got those 2 there. Then we're going to go on to the pottery. Now, I don't know much about this beautiful brown glazed pot. I fell in love with it because of its structure and its size. I believe that this is either, it could be English, it could be American as in marked. I really have not done any research, but it's absolutely gigantic. Look how beautiful this piece is. There's absolutely no chips, cracks, repairs on it or crazing. And it's got the safety thing on there. Look how nicely glazed that is. A lot of these were produced in England back in the 1800s, and then Americans also produced them later on. There's no markings on the bottom, but you can see there's a lot of age to it, and it's an old piece. Very, very substantial and heavy. So, don't know much about this, but like I said, I'm trying to share, since I'm doing hauls, trying to share different things with everyone. Okay, so moving forward, I ended up also getting this beautiful piece of hand-painted pottery. It's a Delft style. It's marked SD. Now I'm not sure, I believe that that's the potter, not the person who painted it, but I'm going to do some research. It's a nice old piece. Look how lovely that is. The color is stunning. All hand painted, and I'll show you the marking. If you know who produced this, let me know down below. I believe this piece is Spanish. And there's some pits and some skips on the glaze. Very, very typical of these pieces. They make beautiful, beautiful walls. Beautiful walls. I absolutely love to decorate the studios here and the offices in my home with beautiful pieces on the wall. Prefer that than to oil paintings. Then, okay, so for that, that's it. So let's go to the fun part. No, I'm just kidding. All of it is fun to me, especially the glass that I'm now learning so much about it. Let's go on to the transferware. And then we also have a final piece that I fell in love with that is glass, and I want to show you. I didn't forget about it. So let's do the blue and white. So I ended up finding this gorgeous piece coffee pot. There's no markings on the bottom. Now the question is this piece English or is this piece from the Netherlands. Where was this piece produced? I have to do some research because I have never seen this pattern before. And these are soldiers on a field talking to someone. That's probably a farmer. And he's resting. And I think here he was giving them something to drink. Very, very unusual. The shape tends to tell me that this is from Netherlands. Okay? Now, the cover here. And you can see the spout. How beautiful that is. But I have to show you something. Okay? A lot of people tell me, how do I know if a piece is repaired? Well, a lot of pieces, like I showed in the previous video, you can see that the piece had been repaired because the repair on it, I'm going to show you, the repair on it is obviously a repair. And you can see there, see that? That's an obvious repair. It's not, it's well, the form is well executed, but the rest is not very well executed. Still a beautiful piece, was featured the last time. Now, if you go thrifting or antiquing for transferware pieces, take your light with you. I use the 365, like I said before, and I'm going to show you how to see where the repair is. There. I don't know if I can. You see how that glows? That piece is glowing right there. Okay, so, and you see here how it doesn't glow. And then you come to the edge. Look at this edge. Do you see that piece glowing right there? Okay, that's a repair. So there's quite a few repairs on this piece that on the naked eye, you and I've been doing this for a long, long, long time, over 3 decades. And I could not tell that this piece was repaired. There was a couple of flakes I saw, but the piece is so well executed that you can't see the repair until you flash the light on it. And it's quite interesting. Look at that. You see it glow? Okay. So because it glows, it's because it's later on. Okay. And then you can tell that the piece has been repaired. So I always use the light before I resell these things because a lot of times there's repairs that we can't detect, and it's always good to disclose. Although if the repair is very good, it's not that it's going to depreciate the value. It might for some people, but for me it doesn't, and for a lot of my clients it doesn't as well. So we're going to put these pieces down before something happens. Like I said, the coffee pots, I don't sell them. I keep them for myself. And I'm going to show you how this piece is just going to glow. You see how it glows? Right there? Look at the glow on it. It won't glow on the rest, but it'll glow right where the repair is. You see that? Only glows on the repair. So, obvious repair, not obvious repair. It's incredible how some people are excellent at repairing these items. It's a talent. That's why a lot of these repairs are very, very expensive. And sometimes, yes, they are worth it. And sometimes, no, they're not worth it. Moving forward, I ended up getting these 2 beautiful butter pots. And they're crazed and stained. They're absolutely stunning. They're both blue transferware. How nice is that? Love those. We do very well with those. Always looking for those. This dealer had 2 beautiful coffee pots. Oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. I paid up for these though. And then you can see here this beautiful transferware blue and white coffee pot. And it must have, there's some condition issues, like there's a line on the bottom, there's some staining, there's a little chip here. Yeah, I don't think there's any repairs on these. Let's take a look. Yeah, see? So there's absolutely no glowing on the teapot. And don't mistake the glow on some of the dust particles. They tend to glow. Yep, no repairs on that. Absolutely beautiful example of blue and white. And this beautiful red transferware in the same pattern. I think this is Damascus pattern. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. It's so many, it's thousands of patterns, you can't keep up with it. Now this one is in much better shape. There's a little chip here on the base, but I don't even see any crazing on it. It's right on the side here, the little chip. Isn't that a stunning, beautiful piece? I already own, this is my third one in red transferware in this pattern. I should know by now which pattern this is. So, yeah, I've already got 3 of these. Maybe I'll start sharing. I'll start sharing them on eBay. I just love looking around here and seeing all of them. They're so elegant and beautiful. I like large pieces. So then got this beautiful brown transferware terrine. Absolutely stunning. I love the brown. I love all of it. That's the problem. The problem is that I love all of it. And this beautiful, gorgeous water pitcher right over here. And here we are. And you can see the bottom right over here as well. And it's stunning. And these sell very, very, very well. These water pitchers do very well for me online. I've sold quite a few in actuality this week. They're wonderful for home decor. If you're gonna put some water in them, I don't recommend you keeping it for too long because it does ruin the pieces. I also, sorry, I apologize. There's someone trying to open the door here at the atelier. We don't open to the public, but because I have everything beautifully displayed, some people like to come in and they're curious. So, and we do have signs all over the doors and that we're not open to the general public, but they don't seem to be able to read them. They're so excited to come in because everything is so beautiful. Then I ended up finding this absolutely gorgeous semi-porcelain Ridgeway blue willow transferware soup tureen with the original ladle, which you know that's where the value is. These tureens, they do come around occasionally, and there you go with the ladle. These are a problem to find. They're never around, and they get destroyed very, very easily. So, and then we're moving forward to this beautiful blue transferware platter. Absolutely stunning. There's quite a bit of this staining that you see on it. I have not cleaned it. And the size, the pattern is Olympian, and the size would be definitely a turkey platter because of the size of it. You see all this staining in the back? So I could remove all of this and make it look pristine, but I'm not going to do that. I'm simply going to give it a good wash with a Myers soap just to get the nicotine out. This is definitely in a smoker's house. And then sell it as is, because I like to let the client do this. There's different techniques you can use to get all of the staining out. It's not that difficult. I guess people can soak this in 40% clear hydrogen peroxide and then put it in the oven for 200 and then allow it to just ooze out the stuff in it. The problem with that is if the hydrogen peroxide gets trapped in there, it will disintegrate the porcelain. So I tell people all the time, if you love it, leave it as is. Just give it a nice cleaning so it looks beautiful and then enjoy it the way it is. And I believe I can remove quite a bit of that darkness with just a good Myers gentle soap and some lukewarm water, hand washed only. And not to make this video any longer, I'm going to present my last piece that I fell in love with. A very nice dealer that I shop from all the time. Patty sold me this item. A lot of sips of coffee today. Yeah, it's one of those days. Yeah, exactly. Well, I sure hope you are enjoying a cup of coffee or a cup of tea yourself while you're watching our hauls. And I have to show you this beautiful Amberina. It's like a ruby red, but do you see the pattern on it? Has these dotted patterns on it, orangey patterns. I don't know if the camera is showing it. Oh yeah, you see it right there. You see that? So it's not just like a ruby red, it's an Amberina color. And it glows beautifully on the edges. So it probably is loaded with cadmium. I think it's cadmium that they put in this. And it's really, really heavy piece. Not a very cheaply done, that's for sure. And the base itself is also lights up, and it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Now, these come with prisms. Not this one. This one does not have the holes for the prisms. So anytime you see prisms on these, there's these little holes here at the base of this little point here on the metal. So this one, originally, you could add prisms to these, but these are not supposed to have prisms, okay? Only when they have the little holes there on the metal. And it's in perfect condition. Now, in terms of lamps, like I've discussed before, and I like to repeat it in every video before I terminate this haul for today, is to have them rewired. Please be sure when you purchase used vintage goods to make sure that they're working properly and get them rewired. We don't want any. A colleague of mine was a huge collector of glass. Unfortunately, had his house burned completely down. I cannot mention names on this video, but his beautiful home burned down, and he lost. There were only material things, thank God he's okay, but he lost all of his collections due to a lamp that was vintage from the 1960s that he did not have it rewired, okay? So we don't want this to happen to anybody. Purchase it, rewire it. I have also all vintage lamps, and all of my vintage lamps are rewired. It's worth the investment, and it doesn't take much. So for today is all. I appreciate you joining me, and until next time, so long.